can't breathe. Need to breathe. Something's sticky on my head. Something cold, metal. My head is clamped. I can't move it. I need to move it. No, don't touch me, you son of a bitch. Oh, my eyes are filling up with water. I'm going under. I'm drowning. I hear the chug, chug, chug of the medium morpher canister turning over as it comes. Get down! Oh, flash. Like a blast furnace door swung open. Roar starts white, goes red. In the jolt to my head, I hear somebody crying. It's me. Mary! I'm cracking up! Mary! I need you! Oh, no, shush. She's sleeping. Let her sleep. She took her sleeping pills. She's tired. Oh, tutti mi chiamano bionda. I thought all the blood on me was from the other guy. The one I carried out. He was 55 years old. You're too old for this war, Pop. Corpo di Bacco, he said. I could die as well as any man. Dying is simple, quite the easiest thing. Afraid of nothing. I cried because my pet fly died. I tried to save him. I gave him water and sugar, but he died. Oh. 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 I slept the whole way on her breast, lunching frequently, she said. On the big train, on the steamer, on the little train, on the littlest train, to the lake, the rowboat across, rocking, rocking. My first voyage, V-O-U-G-E. That's how I spelled voyage in my very first story. How do you spell voyage anyway? Never could spell. They cut a little hemlock and hung it with presents. Christmas in July. On my 4th, it rained all day, but you took me fishing anyway. You taught me how. I caught the biggest one. I helped you row back. Oh, yes, you trusted me to get things done, to set things right. Yeah, tomorrow, I'll start digging those spuds. I'll pluck a couple of chickens for dinner. After I wring their necks, of course. Ha ha. The birds are putting on their beautiful autumn foliage, and the trees are gathering in twittering flocks for their flight to the glorious Southland. Ha ha ha. I am a writer. I was always a writer. I am a writer. Yes, and I love life. Yes, I love life very, very much. And I would hate to die because every year the shooting and the fishing just gets better. Who's out there? Somebody's out there. FBI sons of bitches. Tailing me. Even out here, you stole my passport, you IRS bastards. Auditing me, I pay my taxes. State troopers. I know you guys. This is a private residence, fellas. We're allowed to have wine here. Oh, well, maybe it's... I'm armed, you know! You're in here now. I can smell it. I can feel you smell like bullshit. like a bull ring. You stink like Lazarus. Yes. All right, Maricon. Let's see if you have any corners. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh! No, wait. I know you. Manuel Garcia. Maera. Yes. Tu eres muy hombre. With you, every corrida was like a giant tragedy. You were beautiful, you ugly bastard. El feo. But you're dead. You're not here, really. What do you want with me? Muere, come mierda. Y es tu culpa. Es mi culpa. You're telling me that I killed you? No. I wrote a story about you. That's all. About bullfighting, about how you were magnificent in the ring, but you died in the ring in the story. You were great. You took the ears and the tail, Maera. But it was just a story, amigo. What do you want from me? To come with you. Shall I die? Oh, I'm not afraid, no. Toro. But I'm just a writer. I have work to do. Trabajando forzado. Deadlines. I have deadlines. God, better to die anyway than the way you did. Not in the ring. In the hospital. Tuberculosis. Alone, untended. Your filthy sheets soaking wet with slime, coughing up pieces of your lungs and your bloody spit. Your body destroyed, your spirit humiliated. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Oh! Mira, amigo, it's better to die as the author of your own death and your own story. It ain't finished yet, Maya. I don't know how it ends. I'm not afraid, but I'm no Noviero either. I'm a graceless fool in front of a bull. All I can do is write. Cállate come mierda y escribe lo que tienes que decir. Oh, Jesus. Then shut up, shithead, and write what you have to say. Yes, I've been sick. I've been sick to the marrow of my bones. But I've beaten it. I've beaten hepatitis and nephritis and 3 crushed vertebrae and 5 concussions. A swollen, punctured liver and spleen and ruptured kidney. I've been in 5 car crashes, 2 airplane crashes. I've inhaled fire. I've been shot. I've shot myself by accident. I've had a paralysis of my sphincter, which would have been much better when I had dysentery. Yeah, no shit. I think I know death as well as I know the oldest whore in Havana. I might buy her a drink, but I'd never go upstairs with her. No, I've been sick, but I've risen above it to a belle epoque of writing. So, I will again. Why not? Huh? Ah, oh, yeah. Oh. Yes. Mrs. Hemingway and I were greatly honored to have been invited to the inaugural ceremonies January 19th and 20th, but unfortunately, I was at the Mayo Clinic being treated for high blood pressure, and we were unable to attend. Watching from Rochester, there was happiness and the hope and the pride, and how beautiful we thought Mrs. Kennedy was. Watching on the screen, I was sure our president would stand any of the heat to come, as he had taken the cold of that day. Each day I have renewed my faith and tried to understand the practical difficulties of governing. He admired the true courage. It is a good thing to have a brave man as our president in times. What a bunch of nauseating chicken shit crap. High blood pressure? That's a fucking half lie. I was having a complete nervous crack up, not to mention physical, right, Mrs. Hemingway? Watching on the screen, yeah, sure, that's where you get the true gen. Television. A good thing to have a brave man as our president. Yes, it's better than a hijo de puta like Batista. This is author's toe jam prose. It's mine. I wrote this. This is my large schoolboy handwriting. I wrote it in the winter, and it's summer now. Oh, so 1 July 1961. 1 July. Christ! I remember! That was yesterday. Mary, I was invited to contribute a sentence to a presentation volume for President Kennedy. Yeah, one sentence. One sentence. I started early, and I worked all morning. I started early. One sentence. Just one sentence. I did stop for lunch, Mary, but I kept going. One sentence, just one sentence. You couldn't stand the tension, Mary. You went out for a walk, but I kept going. One sentence, one. Oh, writing is a very hard job, Mary, but nothing makes you feel better. Oh, I've got to take this one day at a time. Today I'm going to work hard again. Yes. Yes. One sentence. I will go out for a 2-mile walk after lunch. Maybe I'll see the school kids coming home on the school bus again. I'll wave to them. Il faut d'abord durer. ladies and gentlemen, having no facility for speech-making, nor any domination of rhetoric, I wish to thank the administrators of the generosity of Alfred Nobel for this prize. No writer who knows the great writers who did not receive the prize can accept it other than with humility.
Well, no son of a bitch that ever won the Nobel Prize ever wrote anything worth reading afterwards. Yeah, but I've sure tried, Max, you know that. Well, it never gets any easier to do, does it? How could it, when you're always trying to do something better than you can do? Yes, I know, il faut d'abord do shit. I need a new title for this new novel. Yes, that's why I'm compiling a list for you, Mr. Genius editor friend. Well, because Paris has been used so often, it blights everything. If I had a King James copy of the King James Bible with large, clear print, I could, for the titling, Max, move out of the way, please. Just a King James Bible. Titling is very important, Max. All right. Let's take an example. The sun also rises, or also the sun rises. A farewell to arms, or goodbye to the weapons. For whom the bell tolls, or for whom tolls the bell, or the tolling of the bell. Or, is that right? Is that good? No, I don't think so. I think people think of tolls as long-distance charges, and bell as the telephone company. Yeah. If so, it's out. You got to be ruthless, you know. Yeah, no. I'm not changing the old man in the sea to a senior citizen symbolic sunset sail, in which the author's 15-foot phallic fish is systematically circumcised by 6 sinister symbolic sharks. Yeah, not even for 2 pullover prizes. No. Not even if your symbolic spouse and your 5 dopey daughters would love it. That was mean, and I'm sorry, but it's true. You gotta be ruthless, Max. 45,000 words so far, give or take. 19 chapters, arranged in order, but I need a better title. Yeah. Max, if you lived in Paris as a young man, it stays with you the rest of your life, because Paris is a movable feast. So I need a taste of your title for this new work. Got to be ruthless. Eliminates. A man is known and judged by the quality of what he cuts away. So you can't help, Max, because you're dead. You're gone. You're there. And I'm here. I'm still here. Max, tell me something. Is it true nothing can bother you there? You don't have to answer. Answer. Max! Max! Come back, Max! Back, Max! I need. No? I need one sentence. Yes. For President Kennedy. Yeah. And I promise you, Mr. President, I won't mention El Diablo, Senor Fidel Castro, Presidente por vida, or the Bay of Pigs. All right. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? How much easier it is to bear the troubles of others than our own. Is that how a man governs a country and sleeps at night? Sure. I could do this if I was at home in Cuba, in my finca on the hill where there's always a breeze. But Cuba is very bad now, and I have to get out, and I don't know where to go. Do you, Mr. President? Joey's a Joe! Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh, Jesus, I'm not comfortable anymore unless I'm hurting. Mary, need my medicine. Mary, is George coming? Is Dr. Savier coming today to take my goddamn blood pressure? Oh, never mind. She took her pills. She's gonna sleep for hours. Let her sleep. Oh, she's tired. She's exhausted. Dear little pickle. Dill pickle. Yeah, oh, bread and butter pickle. Papa's pocket Rubens. Yeah. Avec les belles poitrines. Oh, Mary. I love combat with you, Mary. I love combat. That's a rotten admission to make, but it's true. I love combat. I do. I love going down the rope net into the LCVP on D-Day off Omaha Beach. My knees were swollen double, but I got down. Green ocean pouring over the boys standing shoulder to shoulder in the open hold like medieval pikemen. Salvos from the 14-inch guns of the Texas and the Arkansas throwing railway cars skyward toward the beach, and the noise, the tanks burning, random bundles of rags flung on the beach and floating in the surf, the dead of the first 6 waves. And these boys were the 7th, going straight into where the German machine guns were laying down across the beach, and they had to go through those iron stakes hanging with contact mines. The blood. Spray hitting my face. I love this taste of blood. In my mouth, on my fist. I love fighting. I love bare-knuckled with gloves. I have a very good left hook. My footwork is a little clumsy, but I put that son of a bitch publisher down on the dock. 5 left hooks and hard kidney punch. They had to carry the son of a bitch back out to his big fat white yacht sitting in the harbor. And the black band on the Bimini docks wrote a calypso to celebrate my victories. Lord Invader, hold me tight, hug and kiss me with all of your might. I love. Hunting. Yes, I love hunting. In Africa, walking through broken up country, sweating, the sun lifting the dew off the grass in the morning. Tsetse flies all day, Snakes at night, hunting my leopard with my spear. Huh? Maasai spear. I knocked him out of a thorn tree with this, and I followed him into some deep brush. Splash of blood, piece of shoulder bone. I chewed it up and swallowed it. Good talisman, Angui. My kind of medicine. Purify yourself with a little danger. I got him cornered. In some deep thorn bushes. I pumped in 6 rounds from my Winchester. He kept roaring even after he was dead. And the camouflage were already busy eating the blood from the wounds, muscles still twitching in death. The shame of it is that this, in life and now, this Lord should be covered with flies. I danced that night. I danced around the campfire, naked, wearing ostrich feathers. Shango! I am not a phony, but I am a terrible braggart. These new drugs I'm taking now, took 2 new ones last night, supposed to help me sleep, lay awake all night, with a taste in my mouth, like a very old seagull just took a shit in it. If you take your life at all seriously, it is not something you want to lie awake at night thinking about. Long time ago, good. Now, no good. That's what the old Indian told me that time, up in Michigan. Oh, Christ, I've got to talk to somebody. I'll call my wife. First wife. Well, I'd telephone you, Hadley, but I can't remember your telephone number. Oh, Buck. You are going to love this story. It's the one about fucking the Indian girl up at Walloon Lake. Unless you're prejudiced against miscegenation. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, you're the first person I called, Buck, to tell about the Swedish thing. The Swedish thing. No, not meatballs. The ignoble prize. Yeah, they're going to give it to me. In spite of the fact that I use words that the people I knew when I grew up and work with now use, like nigger, kike, faggot, chink, nip, kraut, dago, bitch, etc., etc., etc. Funny thing about words, every time I see one, it's like I'm looking at it for the very first time. How strange. I suppose they're going to disregard my brutal, callous, cynical side in favor of my manly love of danger and adventure and my heroic pathos. I'm going to tell them to shove it. What? Don't be a jackass? Well, Buck, you don't know how many jackasses I'm going to have to deal with down here after this. That's why I need you to come down here to Cuba and handle things for me. I need help, Buck. Oh, mierda. This isn't Cuba. This was years ago. Cuba is gone. Buck, I need help. I'm going bald. No, I am. I'm fucking bald. That's why I comb it forward like this sort of Caesar look, you know. That's why I got angry at you the other night when you touched my head. I thought you had displaced a couple of hairs. I'm sorry. You're the best friend I have. I mean, living, I mean. Forgive me. If you forgive me, I promise I will go to the barber first thing tomorrow morning and get my hair cut exactly like yours. And then we can both look like shitheads. Yes, you're right. I'm a tête de merde, but with heroic pathos. Oh, when I got hit in 1918, my pants looked like somebody had been making currant jelly in them and punched holes to let the pulp out. I was afraid to look for my legs. I got shot through both knees and the scrotum, but missed my dick. I didn't prick the prick, which to be publishable, of course, I have to call my sexual organ, like it's some goddamn musical instrument. My Mary. You understand. What they didn't understand was how I could walk 150 yards carrying the old guy on my back. Shot through both knees and the right foot. There was no fucking psychiatrist in that war, no. If you went crazy from climbing that hill too many times with your friends dying on this side and being blown up on this side and nothing happening to you, you could face a firing squad. Sometimes you commanded it. There's never going to be an end to war, Buck. I think we're in for many, many years of undeclared wars. When I see what people will fight for, even unarmed, and what they will believe in, Jesus. There are things that are worse than war. Selfishness is worse. Treachery is worse. Cowardice is worse, but I suppose a writer can be a coward if at least he is a writer. By my troth, I care not, a man can die but once. Feeble, that's feeble. Feeble is a character in Shakespeare, you dumb yardbird. And we owe God a death, and he that dies this year is quit for the next. Oh, God, a death. Oh, God. Too many casualties. All these people dying. Getting to where I have very little depth on the bench in front. It's not losing somebody, it's how you lose them. The moon is going. It's going to rain again today. I can taste it. Pauline, I'm looking at you. It'd be good if I could really see you, but I'll settle for you and the moon. Remember your little postage joke? For 2 cents, I'll come to you in a plain wrapper. Christ, how did I not know what you were up to when you arrived at Schruntz, along with the warm rains that brought the avalanches that killed people? And I'm supposed to teach you how to ski on those deadly slopes. So, of course, I had to put my arms around you. And naturally, our hands touched, naturally. But it was all right, because you were my wife's good friend. And then we were betraying her. Betraying my wife. My Hadley. You came to me naked, pale skin, hot mouth, wet, your legs open and willing and full of, we mustn't. How can we? Think of her. Think of God. And, oh God, I need you, come. All that crazy, insane Catholic guilt, which turned it all into a small tragedy, worthy of your playwrightical, pederastical friend from Key West, Mr. Tennessee Williams. I was introduced to him the other day, here in La Floridita. Well, he sat there sort of cringing away from me. Somebody told him that Hemingway usually kicks people like him in the crotch. What shit. What about Alice B. Toklas? I never kicked her in the balls. I should have, of course. I have been a brutal outsider all my life. Tennessee inquired as to the cause of your death. I said you died like everybody else, and after that you were dead. Was that all right? The stain of strife had a fife as a wife. You, Pauline, second wife, one of the rich, and a mouse and a giggy. Patrick and Gregory Hemingway, the second and third sons of the not rich writer. Cosette-co along Halen. Giggy in trouble again in Los Angeles. I'm going now, you said, and you went, and the next day you were dead. And I blamed Giggy. I thought his problem killed you. I know a little bit more about brain tumors now. Well, it's about the only thing I haven't got yet. Yes, I know. I did everything I could to kill our chances for happiness by what I did to Hadley, but you did it too. And you had a better reason for your treachery and cruelty. You were Catholic. I had no excuse from relief from my unbelievable selfishness. 5, is it true that nothing can bother you there? Oh, maybe. For me, it was just the ginseng. Ginseng is a great male conditioner. Helps a man see clearer, yeah. Or was it the money? Huh? Yeah. Hadley and Bumby and I were living on the few seeds I had from newspapering and her trust fund, which was very low by then. Yours was twice as good. Was that it? Was it the money? If that was it, I could have saved everybody a lot of trouble by killing myself. Then, wouldn't have had to write anymore. But that wasn't it. I never gave a shit about money. No. I was just so ashamed. So ashamed. I hadn't done what Scott had done and what Jim Joyce had done, and I was afraid I couldn't do it. I couldn't write a novel. I was afraid the sun would never rise. Although my cock seemed to rise with a little wine in the morning sun. I was insane. I wanted to get loose to write the way I pleased. To fuck anybody. Yes, anybody and everybody. But it was always about the writing. Always. Oh, yes, I was in love, too. But so I dragged you into my mess, and we had to do our thing, and we did it, and it was as bad as an abortion. Oh, Hadley. Hadley. Yes, Hadley. Well, things are rough. They're very rough. Oh, Ernest Stoic, You're not really so low as to be thinking of killing yourself, are you? No, Hash, no, no. Not that you're here now. No. My pays, my country, my red-headed sunshine. You are so sweet. You are so rare. I think you really needed me to be your papa after he left you by killing himself. You were full of such sweet, pulsing aches and gentle hurtings. Oh, I just wanted to take care of you. Oh, and you knew things in bed that other people never bothered to learn. You gave me everything. And everything you ever gave me was so brave and so unselfish and so generous. Yes. Yes. To whom it may concern, Miss Hadley Elizabeth Richardson Hemingway, if you will allow me, all royalties and income now and in the future from The Sun Also Rises will be paid to you and to Mr. John Hadley Hemingway, a.k.a. Mr. Bumby, for you to hold in trust for him. Signed, Ernest Hemingway. Your Ernest Stoic. Yes. Mr. Bumby, best boy in the world. Firstborn out of you, Miss Catherine Cat. I pray God he will make up to you for the very great hurt that I have done to you. But watch out. When I asked him what he was going to do when he grows up, he said, make whiskey for Papa. You wrote on a little piece of paper that you would give me a divorce if Pauline and I stayed apart for 100 days. And then you asked me to empty our apartment of the furniture and the paintings. Take them to your new place just near Stein and Toklas. So I rented a hand barrow and I trucked my life through the Luxembourg Gardens and I delivered them to my wife's new empty home where I was never to be ever again. No, Cat, please don't go, please don't go. Oh, we have 3 good cats here. Yes. You know one good cat just leads to another. And they are very happy because I sing to them and I dance with them, and they're very pleased. The most beautiful one of all is Nuisance Value, a.k.a. littlest kitty, who has a purr that would just blast you right out of your sick bed. When I'm lonesome and when I can't sleep, I tell them stories. I tell them about F. Puss and Mookie, who fought the badger out west. And when I say, the badger! Littlest kitty is so frightened she just has to get under the sheets. Remember when we got under the sheets in Paris because we were so cold? And we drank rum punch hot. And the rum entered into us like the Holy Spirit. And we made love. And we lay together like warm spoons. I put my face in your hair. And I smelled your lovely scent. And nothing could ever harm us or change. Oh. I guess I always thought if I got to be a better writer, I would be a better husband. Maybe it's the other way around. Huh? I'm trying to be a good husband now, so I'm going to let you go back to your husband, no harm done. He knows I would be crazy if I didn't love you. Maybe we'll have a fine time in heaven together. Yeah, sure. And maybe we've already had the hereafter, and it was here. Imagine, Kat, if we had never had Paris when we were young. Do you know what I miss the most? The conversation. A feather kitty's talent lies in scratching out the other's eyes. Oh, immortality. But you forgave us both our lies. Your sweet soul never dies. Oh, immortality. I said if you wanted me, I'd come back to you. You said no, my darling, that just wouldn't do. Kat, how did you get so wise? Our love's the one that never dies. Oh, immortality. Dear Mr. President, how beautiful Mrs. Kennedy is. How moving, deeply moving your inaugural address was on television. How white your shirt. How neat your tie. Was it red or was it blue? How much more beautiful and more deeply moving it must all have been in reality. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am lonesome as a bastard. Mary sleeps, I can't. I'm too haunted to ever want to be alone again. All the sons of bitching things that I've done to people in my life. That's why I like it at a war. No time to sleep or eat, much less think. And always a distinct possibility. Hope that you'll be killed and not have to write anymore. Shit, Maru, stop. It goes, but it always comes back again. Yes, but what if it doesn't? This time! Stop! Afraid of nothing. Grace, you're here, aren't you? Sure you are. Oh, you wouldn't miss this for the world, would you? You're lounging on our porch. As always, aren't you, Queen Cat? I bet you're swinging in our old striped porch hammock, occupying the entire hammock. Sitting very comfortably, are we, Mother? Mother of 6 takes up painting at 52. Well, you could have been proud of me too, Mother, sometimes, if you'd really wanted to be. I know you'd rather see me in my grave and in hell than something, I forget what. Where exactly in hell are you, Mother? Where? Well, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry you suffered with shame and disgrace because of what I know, you now know as well as you know there is a God in heaven, is not to be ashamed of. I do not wish to see anyone in hell, Mother, even though they've taken a painting at 52. I love you. I love you. Yeah. Yes, I wrote that to Dad. He's the only person I've written 6 pages to since I learned to use a pen and ink. I know. I know he's not here. He's not in this Christ awful place where he would have to look at you. No, Dad, you're way back yonder, way back yonder in yon Smoky Mountains, fishing in a good stream that hasn't been ruined yet, where you said you would take me one day, but you didn't. And you said you wished that we would be together and you could be with me and I could be with you. Yeah. And oh, the tarpon must be wonderful, you said. Pop, can you hear me? If you can, I learned a new bird call, a morning dove whistle. Listen. Pop, can you hear this? Grace, listen up. As a Nobel winner, I cannot but regret that it was never given to Mark Twain, nor to Henry James, speaking only of my own countrymen. Greater writers than these also did not receive the prize. Things may not be immediately discernible in what a man writes, and in this he is sometimes fortunate. But eventually they are quite clear, and by these and the degree of alchemy that he possesses, he will endure or be forgotten. Writing, at its best, is a lonely life, and if he is a good enough writer, he must face eternity, or the lack of it, every day. But as he grows in public stature, he sheds his loneliness, and often his work deteriorates. Bullshit. Shit. He gets lonelier. But his work is better. You want to know what the truth is? The truth is that I have always been, as long as I can remember, a chicken shit, displaced person. And a man should not go on writing after he's tired and after he's lost his talent and his country's gone. My country is all gone. Trees cut down. Nothing left but gas stations and subdivisions where we hunted snipe on the prairie. All the towns are shredded, weeded, and post-toasted. Cuba's gone. Castro's got it. Havana's is bad as Miami Beach. They're digging up the sand on the beaches to make concrete for more shit, ugly box buildings. In Christ awful Key West, I can't walk into a bar and sit down, have a drink without somebody coming up to me and saying, "So you're Hemingway, are you? Taking a swing at me." And if I clip him, it gets in the papers. I don't think Henry James had to deal with this. Hey, Fitzgerald! Scott! What are you laughing at? You never won the Nobel Prize? Even though I told you way back in Paris that you would win it? Is that what you're laughing at, or is it that I won it? Yes, good, good. Oh, you went too quickly, my friend. Il faut d'abord durer. First you must last. Or durer il faut d'abord. To last you must be first. That's the way you'd put it if you could do the French. I admit it, I can't do it anymore either. Where are you, Scott? Where are you? Where are you? Where'd you go? You're not in the swing with Mother, I hope. Or is your beautiful and goddamned wife Zelda here too? In which case you're very lonely. Well, I'm sorry. That's lousy. That's lousy. I don't go, Scott. I need to talk to you. I'm so lonesome. Oh, can I buy you a drink? Yeah? Yeah, all right. We had good times talking together, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, Scott. The world is appalling, Scott. The only positive thing a man can do is write, and I can't write a sentence anymore. Not a goddamn word. I feel like getting cockeyed drunk. That's what you always do in this situation, isn't it? I never had much sympathy for you then, but now, by God, I do. I feel the fear, Scott. My blood pressure's 250 over 125. You understand? Or do I have to say that in Celsius? My liver is swollen. My aorta is inflamed. I have diabetes mellitus, whatever the hell that means. I have depression, and headaches and temporary aphasia from the treatment to cure the depression. What? Now, you don't want to know what the treatment is. It's shocking. What else? Oh, yes, piles. I can't ride a bicycle for shit. Oh, Scott, I'm jealous of your heart attack. No, I am. I'm envious of the instantaneity of it. Wasn't it better to go out in a blaze of light than to see your body get old and worn out and all of your illusions shattered? I want to die, Scott. But the truth is, I'm more afraid to die some days than others. That's the true Jen. Il faut d'abord durer must finally give way to... What? You sound like you're talking through an electric fan. Oh. Yes, I hear the tick, too. You're here. Oh, God. You're here. Et vous? Et T. Et toi. And you. And you. You. Oh, God, I'm jealous, Scott. You're in such good company. What do you want from me? You're waiting for me, aren't you? To get on with it. No excuses. All right? This is what I know. I have the right to be happy. Whether I get paid for it or not, it's a disease I was born with. Well, you know, of course. It's an obsession. It's terrible. No, it's worse, because I have to do it better than anyone has ever done it before. That's why I match myself against dead writers. And no disrespect intended, but you all do fill the description. But you're the best. Oh. You're geniuses. I'm not. I'm just a carpenter with words, making the best pig pen I can out of the materials at hand. About the only thing I can do that geniuses do is not get a haircut. Finally, I always have to get a haircut too. I'm not a phony. I may look like a phony with my hair combed forward, but I'm not a phony. This is what I know. Each sentence should be a new beginning where you try again for something that is beyond attainment. You should always try for something that's never been done, or that others have tried and failed. Cogito ergo sum, said Descartes. Scribo ergo sum, says me. I had to start at the start with what I knew then. It was all I had. My goal was just to write one simple, true sentence. Wasn't interested in art or in being artistic. I was only wanting to convey experience directly. I believed that if I wrote as directly as possible what I saw, focusing only on exactly how something happened, that the emotion I felt would somehow come through the way it was. That was my whole belief at first. I wouldn't trick anybody with my opinion of what you were supposed to feel. I'd just really be there. Write it so clean, not described, just told, so that anybody reading it would forget that they had read it and believe that they had lived it. They had been there. You, not me. You. It was very hard. I didn't even know then that I could make up things and that they could be as true as if I had lived them. I didn't know that I could ever do it right, ever finish a sentence, much less a paragraph. Every word had to count. I was so slow. Had a wife, child on the way, I had to earn a living. I had to write. I was desperate. Endure or be forgotten. I walked through Paris every day, ate nothing. Made one cup of coffee last for hours. Writing, walking through Paris, cold, beautiful. I listened to Pound. Use no adjective that does not reveal something. Fear abstractions. Thanks, Ezra. I listened to Stein. I looked at her paintings. She said that she wrote one of her books sitting in front of one of her Cézannes, and that her abstract sentences worked like his planes of color. I looked at the Cézannes, first at Stein's apartment, and then in the museum in the Luxembourg Gardens, where I went so that I wouldn't have to pass the restaurants where I could smell the food we couldn't afford to eat. I looked at the Cézannes. The self-portraits. Huh? Yes? Mm-hmm. Cézanne's self-portraits. Not just planes of color, but what he left out, what he trusted me to put into the picture. I suddenly realized You could omit anything if you knew what it was you omitted. And the omitted part would strengthen the work and make you feel something more than you understood. It was like a code. The mouth that you couldn't see, that was covered with color, but was more there than somebody else's perfectly drawn mouth. The mountain that was mass and cloud and nothing. Just a mountain. Not a symbol, but all mountains. Like getting the fourth dimension into the landscape, it was like looking into the source of life. I suddenly realized, if you could grab the code as it went by, like a carousel's brass ring, like you did, Mr. Conrad, and you, Mr. Sam Clemens, and Maitre Flaubert, and Comrade Dostoevsky, and Monsieur Proust, and you, Jim Joyce, and you, and all of the people made by you, Mr. Shakespeare, the champ. And you're all here with me. I stand in front of the Cézannes, in front of your pictures, hungry, dizzy, hungry, praying hard to hold all of these thoughts in my head. Endure or be forgotten. I want to write like you painted. No tricks. Break everything down into its basic pieces and use them to build the real thing. It's a job for life. I'm going to work at it until I get it. Maybe never. But this is just more fun than anything. This is the greatest pleasure. I want to be a great writer. I'm pretty sure I will be, in spite of everything. Endure or be forgotten. I suddenly realized just exactly how Cézanne would paint this room, or you. Oh God, if only he was here to do it. Wait, was that a prayer? Paul? Are you here? Yes? Tell me. There are finally no undiscovered masters. You do what you must. You work all your life. And you get old. And you die. And that is the hell of it. That's it. My God is the best goddamn God you ever saw. He painted many wonderful pictures. He wrote some good books. He fought at Gettysburg on both sides. He did away with yellow fever. He sired citation. He taught Picasso how to draw. Why can't I do it anymore? Why can't I write anymore? Why can't I work? Even his son yellowed out on the cross. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ, you shouldn't have died on him so fragilely. God damn it. God damn you. I worked 6 months. And I made 6 sentences. 6 true sentences about Paris. I have watched the police charge the crowd with swords as they milled back into Paris through the Porte Maillot on the 1st of May, and seen the frightened, proud look on the white, beaten-up face of the 16-year-old kid who looked like a prep school quarterback and had just shot 2 policemen. I've seen the one-legged streetwalker who works the Boulevard Madeleine between Rue Cambon and Bernheim-Jeans, limping along the pavement through the crowd on a rainy night with a beefy, red-faced Episcopal clergyman holding an umbrella over. I've seen Peggy Joyce at 2 a.m. in a dancing in Rue Camartin, quarreling with a shellac-haired young Chilean who had manicured fingernails, blew a puff of cigarette smoke in her face, wrote something in a notebook, and shot himself at 3:30 the same morning. That's 3. About Paris. My father shot himself. He burned his personal papers in the furnace in the basement and climbed the stairs to his second-floor bedroom and shot himself in the right temple with his father's old Smith & Wesson .32 caliber revolver. I was fond as hell of him. That's 3 more. Not about Paris, about goddamned Oak Park, Illinois. My brother Lester was home in bed with a cold that day. He heard the shot. He was 13. Remember, Papa? You were home too, Mother. And the cook, in case anyone wanted breakfast, I suppose. And afterwards, Mother, you sent me Dad's gun, remember? Along with some of your paintings, which you wanted me to help you sell in Paris, now that I was so well known there and so connected. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Father God, I am so prejudiced against suicide. Because you know, life gets swell again after the hell is over. All you have to do is last through the hell. Right now I'm in hell. I'm trying to last through it. Oh, people say our Lord had a hard time on that tree. Nobody's been anywhere that hasn't been with infantry. The last German soldier I killed. No, not the last. The one that made me feel the worst was retreating toward the German border, escaping our advance into France on a bicycle. Let me take him, I said. I shot him with an M1 rifle. Shot him clean, went in through the spine, came out through the liver. When I turned him over, a boy, just a boy, about the age of my son, Patrick. There was not any way to get him back. I gave him my morphine tablets. Again, a French kid came up and wanted the bicycle because the Germans had stolen his. And we gave it to him and told him to get the hell away from me. Can't see. Don't tell anybody. I know I could still write. I could still work. I need one sentence for President Kennedy, yes. And I need a title for the Paris stories. Oh, there's never any end to Paris. Oh, truly. Oh, but you, Scott, you quit. You always quit at the drop of a hat. You even borrowed somebody else's hat to drop. Talk to me, you Irish Catholic fragile bastard. You, the guts of a timid, easily frightened angel. Tell me, is it true that nothing can bother you where you are? Doesn't it bother you anymore that Zelda was unfaithful to you? That crazy schizophrenic bitch. She killed your confidence by telling you that your penis was smaller than normal and you never satisfied her. Well, you told me your dreadful secret at me shows. Remember? I said, step into the John and show me it. And you did. And I took one look at your perfectly normal dick, and I said, the reason that you think it is small is that you are looking at it from above. And it is foreshortened. Or for something. You thought I was being flippant about your great sorrow. I couldn't cheer you up, so I said, well, let's go over to the Louvre and look at the statues. We can even hold hands like a couple of fairies and see how men were made in the old days. You think those pederastical old Greeks would lie about size, for Christ's sake? But you said no. Zelda said it was so it must be true. And this is the woman who asked me if I seriously didn't think that Al Jolson was greater than Jesus Christ. Well, I said, no. And that was the only answer I could think of at the time. She was nuts! And she was insanely jealous of your work, and she did everything she could to keep you from doing it. She competed with you. She ruined you. But, Bo, you're not a tragic character, and neither am I. All we are is writers. And we're all bitched from the start. And it hurts like hell, and no, goddamn you can't have another drink, you goddamn rummy. You got to get through the hurt any way you can and go on and write. Good writers always come back. They always come back. All you have to do is listen to people. Listen to yourself. Telling your dead friend how to write and live and die. It is true. You were the best friend I had, Scott. I never thanked you properly. I never thanked you. You were so bloody effective. To get that $100 to me when I was on the train with Bumby to Key West, and I got the news at Trenton by telegram. My father shot himself? I was fond as hell of him. Yes, Mother. Yes, our family is smashed. Financially? Oh, that's all you feel. Yeah. Well, he left a terrible mess, Pop, yeah. Debts. Well, I'll help you pay your bills, Mother. If I don't have the money, I'll borrow it. You know you hate my guts, and I hate yours. I will play the role of devoted son, in case it pleases you, in spite of the fact that you caused all this. No, you listen to me. You remember when Grandpa died? We had to move from his house to the big fancy one that you wanted, and you threw out all of Pop's things. Things that were not to be moved were just burned in the backyard. His entire collection of birds and bats and snakes and strange creatures preserved in jars of alcohol and feathers and bones and teeth and fish and all of the things that were in the shelves in the attic were not to be moved. You told Pop to take downstairs and throw into the yard in the bonfire and burn. And the jars popped in the heat and the alcohol flared up and Pop just stood there and watched it all burn. I remember the snakes burning. I never wrote a novel about our family because I didn't think it was right for a man to write and make money out of his father shooting himself. And his mother who drove him to it. No, you did it, Mother. You forced my father to kill himself, but you're dead. You're all dead. And now I can admit it, I know. Pop was a coward. Well, you bitch, you're an all-American, all-time bitch, and fornicate Mr. Freud. Oh, this lover-hate-your-mother thing is way too simple. What is my problem? Is it homosexuality, impotence, or just plain meanness? Is it my outdoor grin, my open shirt, my hairy chest, my ominous resemblance to Clark Gable? What is it, Mother? What explains my antagonism to women? What explains the good women I have loved and hurt and still love? Do you know? Do you care? Did you ever? But congratulations on your success with your paintings, Mother. I know I'm way overdrawn and bankrupt on your Mother Love account. And you're right, I've spent it all on myself. But I've changed, Mother. I don't pray for myself anymore. I've changed. And you said if I did, you would be waiting for me to give me your love, in this world or the next, that you were longing for it, you said. Are you, Mother? Waiting? Is there a next world? God, it feels rotten to think that I can't ever come home. Jesus Christ, Pop. Did you think I wouldn't miss you? Oh, bum, 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 bum. Yep. After your mother and I were divorced, I took you out on the town, remember? Yeah. I bought you a harmonica. We went into a cafe and got ice cream, and you got a great big ring of vanille around your mouth, and you said, "Ah, la vie est beau avec papa." The Bumby. The mouse. The Giggy. My child niece. Not the best father. Not the most consistent. But very loving. I won't lose you. It is because we have had such great writers in the past that a writer is driven far out past where he can go, out to where no one can help him. No, 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 no. One sentence. For President Kennedy. One sentence. Start early, work all morning. One sentence. Don't sleep all night. One sentence. Each sentence should be a new beginning where you try again for something that is beyond attainment. The only immortality you'll have is the immortality of what you write. You have to do it alone. One sentence. Out of ink. I remember something about it. I had to completely empty my bowels and bladder. I was strapped to the gurney with leather straps. They put some grease on my temples. They put a gag in my mouth. And they put the electrodes to my head and turned on the juice. And gave me an electric concussion. 20 times that first session, they told me. I'd already had enough concussions in my life. Why did they do that to me? July 1961. I failed the deadlines. The lines are dead. You locked the cabinet, Pickle. But you left the key where we always do, on the ledge. The one thing you swear you'll never do is the one thing you're always sure to do sooner or later. It's not your fault. You're exhausted. Take that month in cold storage. I'll write you a farewell note. But I'm out of ink. Oh, I know monks who masturbate at night, pet cats who screw, nice girls who bite. What can I do to set things right? It's the earnest liberal's lament. Lord, save me from my torment and tell me what to do. Never laugh at a cat. Dogs like it because they want to be pals with you, but cats don't want to be pals with you. Cats must be queens. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus. Mother, when you died, Mother, I don't believe you had the grace of a happy death. Grace sans grace. Still, I had them ring the bell at the finca for you all day, because no man is an island. And any man's death, and yours, diminishes me, because I am involved. And therefore I will never send to know for whom the bell tolls, because I know. I hear you, Manuel Garcia. Be as brave as the bull. Have the balls to face him down. Toro. Toro. Corto y derecha. Entonces, la estocada. Maera, you killed your bulls in the most ancient, the most dangerous way. Recibiendo. Recibiendo. You killed your bulls from in front with the sword. Not moving your feet once the charge had started. Not moving until the sword had gone in all the way to the knuckles of the right hand. Recibiendo. Recibiendo. I understand. We can meet only in death. And if the courage to die is equal to the ability to kill, the meeting might be pure enough to last forever. To endure and not to be forgotten. Cállate como mierda y escribe lo que tienes que decir. Shut up, shithead, and write it. Dad, my insurance is paid. My will is made proper like you taught me. There'll be no mess like you made. But I never got a chance to thank you, Pop, for the poem you wrote to me in your last letter. I can't seem to think of a way to say what I would most like to say to my very dear son, whose book is just done, except give him my love. Hooray. You're here, Pop, aren't you? Yeah, you're sitting up there in the cheap seats where I can't see you. Wearing your old, dirty fishing clothes just back from yon Great Smokies. I hope you are. Can we please chum together now? Will this end the silence between us? Toro, recibiendo.